Okay, and keeping on with the same fashion of the way we normally do things, I put one knife away after a follow-up, and I bring another one right out to do my initial review. So this knife here, I'm assuming, again, it's a clone from Wish, but I'm assuming it doesn't get ordered often, because this one, like the other ones, like the one we did before, the box is unmarked. It's, you know, the other Wish knives, the other Benchmade knives that I bought off of Wish have come looking as close to the authentics as possible. The knife I did before, the Mini Ruckus, was in a black box that said a bug out on it, so I don't know if that one gets purchased often either, but this one didn't even come with a sticker or anything. It's just the counterfeit Benchmade box, right? So this knife is actually the 810 Osborn Contego, and labeling on Wish says it's got the CPM M390 steel axis lock with G10 handles. So that's what this looks like. Right, so right out of the box, again, you know, talk about the box. The box is sturdy. It comes with the knife pouch bag, which I never use. I've literally got one of these boxes. I believe it's the box that my bug out came in, full of knife bags. This one's going to go in there as well. And then of course it comes with the fake axis tag, and then you've got your paperwork here that's never going to hold up anywhere. And then you've got your foam padding in the bottom of the box. So as close to authentic as they could possibly get it, which I guess I appreciate in the end. I like the craftsmanship that goes into these types of things. I like boxes, I like bags. But back to the knife. So this is the 810 Osborne, and when I saw this online, I've never seen this knife before. Even on the Benchmade sites, I never looked for it, but this knife here, I saw it on Wish, and I was like, man, I just got to have that. I love the way that looks. It's a bigger knife. I like that black on that blue. And again, right out of the box, just like the Ruckus, these, I guess you'd call them carved scales, because that's what it looks like. It feels rough, and initially when I had done the other knife, I thought that was going to be a problem, like it felt cheap, but come to find out, I really appreciate that rough scale, especially where I'm at now. So I'm excited about this right out of the box. The scales look great. My new viewpoint on how I'm appreciating them, I'm hoping is going to come into play on this one as well. Again, it's an axis lock. It's got the Benchmade logos on here. On the back, it's got the Osborne boomerang looking thing. I don't know too much about this knife, the real one. I figured maybe this will be a good starting point to look into the authentic version after this clone knife. But we'll start here with my little list that I've created: comfortability, weight, sturdiness, sharpness, aesthetics, and function. I do notice, so this knife, it's a big knife. I like bigger knives. But the problem I have with this one right out of the box is to hold it one-handed and flip it open. I feel like it's just on the edge of being too long in the handle, which hasn't been a problem I've come across before. I can still make it work, but it's just right there on the edge. The mechanisms are a bit stiff from the initial opening, and then when you get up here to the top, it stiffens up a bit when you're trying to flick it. But I feel like it'll loosen up pretty easy after using it for some time. And holding that in my hand, if you guys have been watching my videos, I like where the knife sticks out past my hands. I feel like I've got a better grip there. There's more material to work with. My concerns have always been sweaty hand slippage, and the length of this handle coupled with the rough G10 supposed micarta carved scales, I feel like that's going nowhere. That's a good solid knife, and the length of the blade there is just massive. I feel like there's so much versatility you could do with the blade that long, and as thick as this blade is, I mean, look at that. That's a thick blade. That's not going to snap or bend or break anytime soon. Right off the bat, I'm getting good vibes about this knife. So the only thing that I'm feeling that I have a problem with, besides the length being right on the edge of just too long for the handle, this clip here, it's a bit bulky and it sticks off a bit high off the knife, and you can definitely feel that when you're gripping it. It's 2.5, 3 inches maybe of slick metal here, and then you can feel it in your hand. There just feels like a weak point in your grip. So not 100% on the grip there, I guess. But function, I feel like the way it feels in my hand, the movability of it, even though it's a little bit too long, maybe just right on the edge of being too long, if I mess with it enough, that mechanism in there should loosen up a bit. So functionability, I don't think it's going to have a problem. Sharpness, I'll check here in a second. This thing is very sturdy. It feels like it's put together really well. It's, hopefully not saying anything bad about it, it feels like a brick of a knife. And if I ever got caught in a situation where I needed this, say like I'm out in the wild, I didn't have a pistol or something, and a big animal comes up on me, like, this would be the kind of knife I'd want to grab for, because it's got heft, it's got grip, it's got length, it's got thickness, probably even chop small twigs, branches with it. The weight of the blade feels nice. So yeah, right out of the box, right off the bat, I've got a lot of good feelings about this. I'm really happy with the purchase on this one. This knife cost me all in all about $45. It took about 6 weeks, if I remember correctly, 6 weeks to get to my house, which there was a point when it was being shipped that I thought maybe it wasn't going to show up. And I was a little disappointed on this one. And I forgot to mention it in my video for the mini ruckus, the one I just did before this. That one took about 5 weeks to get to my house. So there's a waiting period on these for sure. This was about $45. Just right out of the box, I think I'm gonna be real happy with this. I'll be surprised if I run into any issues that diminish my expectations any. So yeah, this is the 810 Osborn Contego, CPM M390 steel axis lock, and G10 micarta handles. So we'll give it a run. I'm going to try to make this video about 2 weeks. I'm going to fabricate all kinds of situations where I'm going to need a knife, cutting, sharpening, stabbing, poking, whatever I can think of to do to get this video done in about 2 weeks. I'm trying to do 2 a month, 2 knife tests a month, so I can ramp it up. I've got a ton of knives to get through, and I have already somebody suggesting some of the more expensive authentic knives I'd like to start getting into as well. But I have a whole stack of pocket knives. I'm not sure if I'm going to be running any fixed blades, mostly because these are so much easier to carry around and use day to day than a fixed blade knife. So I think I'm just going to stick to pocket knives for a long time. We do have a lot of projects we're working on coming up. If I do miss my 2-week window interval, it's probably going to be for that reason. We design t-shirts. We've been doing it for a long time, put it on hold. After we got our business started in the state we came from, we've moved states, so we've started a new business, same business, just in a different state. We've got back into doing our t-shirt designs. Me and my wife are both artists and writers, so we have kids book series that we just put the first 3 installments out. It's called Denver's Adventures. You can find it on Amazon. This is one of our prototype artistic designs for our t-shirts for our design company called Living Dead World Inc. And this is going to be another one. We're going to have a lot of design stuff like this coming up here pretty soon. And we also, well, I write readable books, just all word books, 200, 300 page books for the general population, the general reading levels. We've got 3 out on Amazon right now. I'm working on a 4th, so we're definitely really busy. But that's not for these videos, just a little look at some of the other stuff we're going to be putting out. I'm also going to be working on another series of videos on here pertaining to different myths and mysteries and things revolving around the United States and the different, I don't want to give too much away, but the different interesting concepts state by state. I'll give you guys a heads up when we're going to start posting stuff like that, but not to divulge too much into it. This is a knife video, and this is the 810, sorry, excuse me, this is the 810 Osborn Contego, and right out of the box, I'm giving this an 8 out of 10, and the reason I'm giving it an 8 out of 10 is, one, I'm not a fan of that big clip right there that gets in the way of the grip as much as I do like the grip, and two, using this one-handed, I feel like I may get into a little bit of trouble just because of how right at the edge of that kind of comfortability it is. And when it comes to this situation before, I have cut myself with knives trying to test them out, and usually if I end up cutting myself and it's a user error, I won't take that out on a knife. But if I feel like the knife is just a little too out of perspective to a point where it's going to be kind of hesitant on the functionality, I'll note that in my next video. So thanks for watching, guys. Benchmade 810 Osborne Contego clone from Wish. We'll check it out.